This is Rise and Thrive, a mini-series from Scared Confident where we highlight the stories of 7 remarkable women as they learn to stand tall in their story. In this next episode, you'll hear from Chris Mills, Chief Operations Officer for ML Talent Strategies.
So I sat down in this really comfortable couch, and the sun was shining through the window. It was warm on my face. We started talking about how things were going and how I was doing, and Mary Jo was her normal, straightforward self. And she looked at me, and she said this 3 simple words with a question mark at the end of it. It was easy for her to ask and really hard for me to answer. She said, "Chris, are you bipolar?" And complete silence entered the room. I sat there for I don't know how long. I know I was way more silent longer than just then. And another question came to mind to me, and I kept thinking to myself, how had I gotten here, this journey with mental illness? I've come to realize that everybody has a backstory. We have a place of hiding at times, and this is my backstory. I'm here to share with you where I've been hiding. In this journey, I have felt shattered in a million pieces at different times. How could I put myself back together? Should I put myself back together? Who would I be at the end of this journey? What would I look like? Man, there were times of high energy and fun and joy. And I ran marathons, and I traveled internationally for my job, and I had parties with friends. I spent a lot of time with a lot of people. And then there were times of absolute depression, where the thought of getting out of bed was more than I could handle. I was absolutely overwhelmed at the idea that I had to take a shower or wash my hair. I wasn't sure who I was or who I was going to be. As I think about that time, there's a lot of pain that was there, but there was a lot of joy too. And I don't want to lose all of those thoughts. But I also didn't know who I was. And I had lived with this mantra, and you know it, lots of people say it, suck it up, Buttercup, and just keep moving. Because that's what high-performing women do. We smile, we keep going, we keep walking. But I'd been brought to my knees. I was in my 40s, and life was not easy anymore. I was blessed in an absolute moment of clarity that I knew I needed help beyond what my husband and I could do. And God sent me 2 wonderful women with Mary Jo and Nikki. And I like to say I'm a high performer. And yeah, it took 2, not just 1 counselor. That's all right. They were 2 high-powered women who had dedicated their lives to people with mental illness. And they were there to help me. Issues that had been in the backdrop of my life were now forefront. I was playing the whack-a-mole game. The mole pops up and you hit it, only it pops up somewhere else and you have to try to hit it over there too. Well, that's what life was like. Nikki and I spent countless hours talking about a childhood trauma that had never been addressed. I had to come to a state of forgiveness for my abuser, for the people who did not protect me and should have, and ultimately for myself. And then I played the game and the conversations with Mary Jo that I know so many women play, that I'm not enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm just not enough. How could I be enough? I had a mental illness. I was not able to have my own child. I couldn't handle the pressures of my job. All I wanted was a finish line. I wanted to know that there was an end to this, and Mary Jo kept reminding me this was a journey of acceptance. Like I mentioned, I'm a marathon runner. I wanted that 26.2 miles, don't forget the 0.2. I wanted to come across that finish line, dust myself off, and say, that was tough, give me a snack, and I'm ready to move on. But that's not what mental illness does. I needed counseling and I needed medication, and I worked with a doctor because again, with medication, that was a battle. All I could think of is, I'm weak, I'm sick. What is this all about? And he said, look, if you have diabetes, you take insulin. If you have blood pressure issues, you take blood pressure medicine. You have a medical condition. It's okay. It was a hard pill to swallow, literally, but I did. I also look back and I realize that there's so much more to this story that I could share. There's so many more battles to this story, but that's not actually my story. My theme song is called Overcomer. I stand here tonight to say, this is my story. I am an overcomer. Mental illness does not define me. I will say it again. I will stand strong in my story that mental illness does not define me. Only myself and my God can define who I am. The truth is, bipolar, schizophrenia, depression, panic attacks, anxiety, they all have different causes. They have one thing in common. We're still afraid to have the conversation. And we need to have the conversation. I'm tired of hiding from it. It is who I am. It's a big piece of who I am, and I'm okay with that. And I need to not fear anymore. There are people here tonight and out there who know me who have never heard this part of my story, and it's time. As I went through this journey, I clung to a verse from Psalms 139. And it goes like this. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and my soul knoweth right well. I am one of his marvelous works. And I leave you tonight with this thought and a prayer, that you always know that you are good enough and that you are wonderfully made. Thank you.
No matter where you are in your journey, community is so key for where we're all going. And I'm on a mission to reach 100,000 people with this message of being scared confident. So I would love it if you would share your favorite episode with your friend. Just pull up your text, send them a link. It'll take like 2 seconds. The show isn't about me. It's about helping other people on their journey of living full and complete lives. When we step totally into an understanding of our fear, we can step fully into our stories. As a thank you, I'm giving one fear interview to a listener. Put your name in the ring by texting me the word fear to 317-350-8921. The word fear, F-E-A-R, to 317-350-8921. And over the next couple weeks, we will pick one person to go through the fear interview. Thanks for listening.